And break.
Straight from the mountain to your street, giving you a taste of something sweet. So don't go away, sit down, take a seat. It's Midweek Motivation. Now drop this beat, man. That's my dog. Let's go.
Welcome to Midweek Motivation, real conversations with real people about a very real God. We have a very special guest with us today.
I mean, I've been on before.
He is very special.
Oh, okay.
No, very special. Very, very special guest. Some would say he needs no introduction, but we thought we'd make a big deal out of it anyways. Or see how many shades of red he can turn. Not only is he the associate lead pastor at Parkway Church on the Mountain, not only is he the father of 4 wonderful children and the cutest baby.
Oh,
like
100%.
Look, Christian was an adorable little baby. Chloe might be taking the cake, right?
Christian is still adorable.
He is still adorable.
Figuratively and literally. I saw her grab some food from Hannah's plate the other day, and it was very aggressive.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's very adorable. So one of the most adorable babies.
Her rolls
right?
have rolls.
Yeah. You know what? Isn't that fun? Like on a baby, like you can it's cute when they're fat, but if you go up to an adult, I'm always curious what age you can't do that anymore, because there is an age.
Are you going to test it?
No.
Please don't.
No. It's like asking a lady if she's pregnant, right?
I feel like once they're like 5 or 6.
Until a woman has flat out told me that they're pregnant,
Don't assume anything.
I'm not doing it.
That
right?
baby's got to be out before
And
I'm
even,
assuming.
well, I mean, then they're not pregnant.
True. Can never play it too safe.
So he's the associate lead pastor. He's the father of 4 children. He is my boss, Trevor's boss. He's the guy that was foolish enough to hire me almost 3 years ago now.
The Colossus.
Right about
of
this time 3 years ago.
The great Bambino.
What a beautiful hire, though.
All right, so I'm just going to tell the story in your intro.
I wasn't calling you beautiful.
Right?
The hiring of you was beautiful.
It's okay. My mother thinks I'm beautiful. So we came to Parkway in February of 22, something like that. We were looking for a new church home, and we hadn't really intended on staying at Parkway. That wasn't our intent, right? We wanted to maybe it was Courtney's. I don't know. We haven't talked about this. But my thought was, we'll go here for a little while. We know great people. It'll be a good place to land while we look for somewhere to stay, right? Hudson got really involved in the youth ministry, which should have been my clue, that we were going to stay. And then more and more at home at Parkway. And then against my wishes, because I didn't want to go to New Friends Party, okay? I did not want to go because I wanted to be introverted and not talk to a bunch of people, okay? So Courtney, in June, signed us up for New Friends Party. And then Carly and I went through this whole New Friends Party without having met, without having talked, but our tables were like back to back, right? And he was not my table host. I got stuck with Dustin.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, and it didn't scare us off, but it was close, right? It was real close.
Yeah.
Love Dustin, but comes on strong. He's a lot in a good way.
His heart.
So I'm sitting there at New Friends Party. We're getting ready to leave and everything. And somehow you and I just bump into each other, right? And start talking. And it just so happened that you were looking to hire somebody part-time, right? And then, so we scheduled a meeting. Was it that? I think it was the next week.
I think it was the next week.
Yep, we ended up meeting at Waffle House.
Love Waffle House.
You got recognized for your white glasses.
Yep.
Man, why did you didn't take me to Waffle House?
We didn't know each other then.
No, I'm talking about Carly.
Oh, well, I mean,
Guess we need to go to Waffle House.
Let's go. Post show.
And then just, the rest is history.
Yep.
Found out very similar stories, similar lives, kind of parallel lives in a lot of ways. So
Pretty wild.
Definitely great time. Thing. It was fantastic. So, that was, I'm not going to get too emotional about it, but that was a big turning point for me, because I knew I was at a point where I was working in the secular world. I was selling cell phones. Great time. It was great company, but not my shape. If you take it a quip, I quickly learned that was not my shape. But I was looking for ways to get back into serving in ministry, and and then you and I met mostly because my wife made me go to New Friends Party. You and I met.
Thank you, Courtney.
Yeah, and then now, almost 3 years later, we've been working together, and we don't hate each other.
No.
At least not that you've told me. So, but yes, that's Carly's intro.
Oh,
it is Carly Moore.
Wow.
And
you should write a book.
In another, to add on to your intro, not only are you the associate lead pastor, my boss, my mentor, but you are the OG of Midweek Motivation. There's actually a button over there.
Yeah.
That would, I don't know if it does that or not.
You know what? You should have like the extended like little pointing finger.
Just hit it.
Sorry. I literally envisioned you doing that when you said there was a button over there.
Yes, Carly is the OG. So if you're a fan of Midweek, obviously you know who this guy is. But he is one of our leaders here at the church, and we've been talking about Pray First. And Carly's actually the guy that introduced me to this book. So I thought it'd be a perfect time to have you on, talk a little bit about prayer, some different things. And you are the expert, in my opinion.
I don't know about expert.
You're at least the expert in this room, so we're going to go with it.
Yeah, the expert on Chris Hodges.
You did introduce most of us to Chris Hodges. So one of the things we've been talking about with Pray First is the beauty of it is that Chris puts the cookies on the bottom shelf.
Yeah.
Right. So you've been in ministry now for how many years? You've been in ministry?
14 years.
Okay. So as long as my oldest son has been alive.
Yep.
Right. And in that time, you've been a senior pastor, you've been a youth pastor, been a children's pastor, you've been an online pastor, you've been a facility manager, you've done all those things. You've been the angry tech guy that has to try to fix things right before service, right?
Which is why I hired you, so I don't have to be the angry tech guy anymore.
Yeah.
Right. I look forward to hiring my own angry tech guy one day. That sounds like fun. I can, just comfort him instead of being the angry tech guy.
You're killing it, man.
Yes. If you're ever wondering why all the tech guys, especially the directors, look grumpy all the time, it's because something is broken or somebody has asked them a question about something that's just not possible.
At the last minute.
Right. At the last second.
Yes.
Like, well, why don't you just do this? Oh, well, yeah. So go hug a tech guy today.
Yeah.
They need it. They won't do it.
That's our next T-shirt. Hug a tech guy.
Kiss me.
Maybe do that for all of our production T-shirts. Like, I probably need a hug.
Yes.
Kiss me. I'm a tech guy.
Or I'm sure you need to pray for me right now.
Yeah. I probably need a hug. I like that.
But you and I share that. We're in the tech world. We've been in the ministry world for a long time. And but you've been in ministry now 14 years. And in that time, I'm sure you've had conversations with people about prayer. And so I'm curious, but I didn't prep you for this one, but I think you can handle it. I'm curious, in that last 14 years, how have you seen your own prayer life evolve?
Well, being introduced to Chris Hodges, who is, I'm not saying he's like the best communicator or anything like that, but being introduced to Chris Hodges through Grow Leader, Church of the Highlands, going through some training, reading Pray First. I actually got to read kind of one of the early, before it was released, versions of it, which is where we get our prayer guide from. It's where Church of the Highlands, they get their prayer guide for 21 days of prayer and fasting. But to be honest, the thing that shifted my prayer life the most was the first time that me and Hannah participated in 21 days of prayer and fasting. Our church wasn't doing it or anything. We had just heard about it through Church of the Highlands and decided to kind of do that. I think at the time we were maybe looking at purchasing a car, I believe it was, and we were like, we'll commit that to prayer. That'll be our focus for 21 days. We'll pray, we'll fast, and that just kind of started this whole trajectory of a foundation of prayer. I'd say in the last 5 years, though, I've really pray first for everything. Like at night, if I wake up, first thing I'm doing is praying.
Yeah.
Now I might fall asleep while praying, and we can talk about that. Some people they feel like they offend God when they fall asleep praying, but I just think it's a cool moment. Yeah, you think about your child. Your child crawls up in your lap, you're holding your child, and they fall asleep while you're talking to them. That is to me, that's a special moment.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel like God views it. Like, what better way to fall asleep than praying? Sorry, I didn't mean to kind of go off on that. But before a meeting, I pray.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times before and after a meeting, I pray. And let me just say this. Like, if you got somebody you beefing with and you getting ready to go have a meeting with them, pray before you go in there. It'll change the whole trajectory of it. Yeah. So basically, it stemmed from any decision that me and Hannah, my wife, were going to make. We would commit it to prayer. Any meeting we were having, we were going to commit it to prayer. Any time, like if we were deciding to have another child, commit it to prayer. We just started literally committing everything to prayer. And the first question that would come up, like if there was a situation we were facing, it was kind of annoying, but it was always, well, did you pray about it?
Yeah.
And the more and more we asked that question, the more and more we realized just how important prayer is for everything.
Yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of how it developed from 21 days of prayer and fasting just to small prayers all throughout the day. Yeah. Yes, commit time, have kind of the habit of prayer, but make prayer a part of every single thing you do. Yeah. You get in your car. Like when we go on vacation, we're going on a trip, we always jump in the car and we're like, all right, who's praying?
Yeah.
And somebody prays. One of the kids most of the time will pray. It's just something we do.
Well, it brings peace to the situation too.
Yeah.
Even if you're not stressed out, you're already going into it with a mindset of peace. Like, okay, well, God's got us because we've already communicated with Him first before we even start this venture.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all three of us, I mean, we've spent a lot of time in church. All three of us grew up, in church for the most part, and in a lot of ways. And I think the funny thing is, everybody grows up, especially if you grew up in church, even if you've spent any time in church, like people know they should pray.
Yeah.
Right. And everybody knows that. Right. That's why you even said it. Like, that's why when somebody says, well, did you pray about it? It's like, well, I didn't do that. Right. And like, I think it's funny how we can grow up in church, at least for me. Like, grew up in church knowing, okay, prayer is where you should start everything, right? Always. Yep. Always begin and end with prayer. And, like, I knew that, right? We're like, okay, well, I know that, but what do I really have to do, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I know for me, for years in ministry, like, I had that thought that if you've been a pastor for any length of time, or maybe even your own job or in your personal life, I felt like I'm doing all the right things. Like, I'm doing all the right strategies, have a right vision, and, saying the right things, doing the right things, but nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Right. And the reality is, it's because I wasn't praying first. Oh, I got it. Look at that. Woo, look at that. Chris Hodges. If I do enough episodes on his book, I'm really sure that Chris is going to see it one day and he's going to sponsor us.
Yeah. Thank you for the future sponsorship.
Yeah. These can be this can be the Chris Hodges memorial. Is memorial what you get when you're no longer alive? Or?
Well, look, let me just say this. You showed the book there, and you led off, and this is a phrase that Chris Hodges says a lot. He likes to put the cookies on the bottom shelf where everyone can enjoy it. And he said that actually that stemmed from a member of his congregation one day. Like, I want to say it was an older lady. She came to him and she was like, I love when you preach because you put the cookies on the bottom shelf where everybody can enjoy them. And like, I've read deep theological books on prayer. I have the encyclopedia of prayers. I've wrote papers on prayer, but that book is the easiest to understand, comprehend, and put into practice.
Yeah.
Praying first.
Yeah, I think it demystifies prayer.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, everybody knows, like I said, we all know, like, oh, we should pray about it. Right? And like, but the part that we don't understand is like, no, really, you need to really pray about it. Like, that is what you need to do, right?
Yeah.
Because every time somebody asks, like, well, if somebody's facing a situation, it's like, well, you should pray about it. Okay, yeah, I'll pray about it. But what else should I do? Like, no. You completely miss step one. Doesn't matter what you do after that. If you've not prayed over it, it doesn't matter how good your strategy is, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, it's clear that in our DNA is this innate response to pray. Mm-hmm. You think about a tragedy, even people who are non-believers maybe, or who haven't been to church in years, but you let a tragedy strike, especially like, say someone loses a loved one, we're praying for you. Mm-hmm. Or, hey, I could really use some prayer right now.
Yeah.
Maybe haven't stepped foot in a church in years, or maybe never been to a church. Mm-hmm. I could really use some prayer right now. Mm-hmm. You look at all the situations that have taken place here lately, and I love reading the comments when people post stuff. It's always like 70-30, like praying for you. Well, who you praying to? Hey, listen. Keep putting praying for you. It's mm-hmm. embedded in who we are.
Yeah.
Because we are relational human beings, and that prayer is our conversation with God. Mm-hmm. It's not a checklist. It's not a duty. It's none of that. It's just a conversation.
Yeah.
That's why, like in the morning when I wake up, almost every morning, I thank God because His mercies are new every day. Mm-hmm. That's one of the first things. And then it's like I got to convince God. I'm like, God, I know I say that every morning, but I really do mean it. I really do thank you that your mercies are new every morning. Like, right. I mean it. I'm not just saying it, God. I promise.
Yeah, as if you didn't already know your heart.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes we feel like we have to do that, mm-hmm. but we don't. And I'm guilty of that, but we don't. It's a conversation. It's like rolling over in the morning and telling mm-hmm. your significant other, good morning. Yeah. It's like going downstairs, upstairs, or going to your kid's room, waking up in the morning and hugging them and saying, I love you. Like that's your prayer time with God.
Yeah.
It's so simple and it seems so easy. With that being said, why do people struggle prioritizing that in their daily prayer lives?
I think one of the reasons people struggle with it is because there are deeper prayers. Now, mm-hmm. I'm not saying don't get in your prayer closet. I'm not saying that at all. I'm not saying don't follow prayer models that we have in Scripture. But if your primary focus is following a specific model all the time, then you're missing the point. Yeah. Because you're checking boxes like, oh, I got to pray this way. I got to do this first, then this, then this, then this. And those are good for an hour that you set a time aside or whatever. Mm. But if you're missing the relational side of it mm-hmm. and the being in God's presence and spending time with Him, this is going to sound really bad. If you're missing that, then you're not really praying at all. Yeah. In my opinion, you're doing a ritual, and mm-hmm. When you start doing things as a ritual, it becomes religious without relationship.
Yeah.
And we got to make sure we have the relational side of it.
Yeah, one of the things that I love what Chris says, and that we talked about it, I think 3 weeks ago now. But prayer is, what Chris says is prayer should draw you closer to God. And if it's not doing that, then it's not prayer, right? Yeah. So the intent is whatever that is. If that's a form prayer that you read, if that's drawing you closer to God, great. If you just, throwing something off the top of the dome and is drawing you closer to God, then it's filling its purpose. And I think one of the things you said that's real important is I think this is kind of what you were getting at. You have to develop a habit of prayer.
Yeah.
Right. And until you develop a habit of prayer, prayer takes practice.
It does.
Right?
It does.
To really pray. So like you talked about, wake up in the morning and, you're connecting with God in prayer. That's a thing that you do because you want to, right? Mm-hmm. Because you've had these deep, intimate moments of planned prayer. So I know you talked about 21 Days of Prayer. We've adopted it here at Parkway, and it's been phenomenal. We got to do it last year for the first time, at 6 a.m. It is coming back in one form or another. So be ready for that. And I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. I told Dustin this after that. Like I'm not that much of a morning person. I'm kind of a morning person. But being in a situation where there's nothing else happening, like you're going to play on your phone and look like a tool in a room full of 30 other people, or you're going to pray and like actually pray. And it's this really amazing thing when you really start to pray. It is different, right? It is different than like, praying for supper. It's different from, what you've seen your pastor do, praying over the congregation. It's different, you know, and it's hard to describe.
Well, and the effect that it had on me, at least at the last one that we did, or the last in-person one we did, it got to the point where you were so in the zone, just consumed by the presence of God. Yeah. I didn't want to leave. Like I had a job to go to. I had things that I needed to do, but I did not want to leave that moment in time. Because his presence is so heavy and it's so real. You rely on that and you want more of it. You crave it as you go on through your life.
It's like you listen to older saints talk about, that a good old, like they talk about it every year at the prayer advance, the sweet hour of prayer. Yeah. Right. Having a really sweet time with God and, basking in his presence, like all those things, like growing up in church, you hear those things like, all right, well, that's just something old people say. It's like, no, that's what people say who have really experienced and communed with God. Right. Yeah. And it's the kind of thing that only comes when you've done it for a while. Only comes with experience, and it comes with practice.
Yeah, it's a spiritual practice. You have to start somewhere. Don't feel like you have to jump right in to an hour. I definitely recommend, if you think about the amount of time that we spend allowing other things in our lives, and then the amount of time that we spend with God, it's grossly outweighed. Yeah. If you begin to make time to be in God's presence will continually be upon you. Yeah. And so you have to do that. But this popped in my mind, and you said something a minute ago. One thing that a lot of people struggle with, and it's really a point of contention or a point of frustration when it comes to prayer, is, man, every time I go to pray, my mind just races. I think about everything. That's okay.
Yeah, God sees it already.
when you think about those things, pray about those things. And I even think sometimes as you are praying and your mind starts racing, I think it's actually God revealing himself to you. Like, hey, you see that? That's consuming you? Let me take that from you.
Hand it over.
Let me give you peace in that situation. If you're sitting down to pray and you're 5 minutes in and all you can think about is your to-do list, that's probably God prompting something in your spirit. Like, hey, come find rest in me. Like, let me disconnect you from your entire to-do list and you just be with me. And if you will just be with me, watch what I'll do with your to-do list. Yep. So don't get frustrated when you're praying and your mind is racing. Don't feel like a failure. Don't feel like you're like, man, I can't even talk to God for 5 minutes without my mind racing. Right. That's okay. Maybe God's revealing something to you. Yeah. Just give it to him. Yeah. And watch him use the mind racing and use those as points of prayer. Yep. Yeah. And then the mind racing part, yes, your mind's still racing, but now it's racing with God. Yeah. And not against God.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the other thing that helps us with that too is like, and if we're trying to make prayer a priority and you want to make prayer a more normal thing and a more natural thing in your life, you have to know the person that you're talking to, right? If I didn't, make time to get to know my wife, but I wanted to, like have normal conversations with her, guess how I'm going to have normal conversations with her, right? Is by having normal conversations with her and getting to know her, right? I mean, you and your spouse know each other intimately, like in a way that like there are things I've been married to my wife almost as long as I lived at home with my parents now. Right, we have known each other for the same number of years. Well, for the same number of time that I lived at home. Think about. Right, there is no one like her and my mom, like, but still she knows me in a different and understands me in a different way than my mother. Right. And it's the same way with God. God understands us differently. Right. Yeah. And the thing that I think we misunderstand when it comes to prayer is like, you don't just pray. Like the people that you hear pray, like, oh, I wish I could pray like them. It's because they know the Father deeply and intimately, right? Yeah. And they've had moments, like you mentioned, a prayer closet. Like they've had moments in a prayer closet where they're pouring their heart out to God.
Yeah, yeah. I've had screaming matches with God in my prayer time.
Yeah.
And then I've had quiet moments where I literally just had nothing to say, and I was just there. And while you might not hear his audible voice, don't feel like you have to do all the talking. It's two-way. It's communication is what it is. It's not just you unloading all your problems and asking all your questions. Give him time. Give him room in your prayer time to reveal himself to you. It's not just one way, and we have to get beyond that and create those spiritual habits of getting to know God. I find it kind of funny. I've noticed it here lately. In college, I'll never forget when, like, I was raised up Pentecostal holiness. And when them jokers pray, they pray. And I've been guilty of it too. But I'll never forget, we had this group called The Big Coffee. Life's a drag, perk it up. It was a ministry.
Was there coffee?
No. There was no coffee.
All right,
yeah, it was weird. It was, dude, it was so
There's
weird.
There's no coffee, I'm not in.
But it was like, it was borderline not Christian. Like I'd say it was 80-90% worldly, and 10% Christian. But it was to get new people into the room. But I'll never forget my buddy Chase. He goes to pray, and I felt like I needed to call him out afterwards. This is how he started his prayer. What's up, God? How's your day been, man? And I'm like, bro, you can't talk to God like that. And he just went on and he just had this very real, authentic conversation with God.
Yeah.
There was no big words or anything. He talked to God the same way he talked to me. And it got me thinking, and I've been thinking a lot more, like, why do we say Father so many times while we're praying? Father, I just ask that you be with me, Father, and Father, that you would just help me in this, Father, in this situation. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that.
But your kids don't talk to you like that.
Exactly. And I think the more and more time we spend with God, we'll realize he doesn't need any of that. Yeah. He just wants us.
Yeah.
He just wants to have a conversation with us. So don't try to be something you're not when you're talking to God. He already knows who you are. So just keep it real. Like that. Don't feel like you have to know all the prayers in the Bible or how people prayed in the Bible. I mean, it's important. All that stuff is important. But being with God and knowing him and him knowing you, that's the biggest key to your prayer life.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you said.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's where we need to start, because otherwise you're going to, if your plan is to start with by checking a box or fulfilling, like, I prayed the prayer of Jabez today.
Yeah.
And be able to impress people. Like, I know what the prayer of Jabez is. And two, I prayed it, right?
Yeah.
Be real impressive like that, right?
I will say the prayer of Jabez is pretty good.
Oh, it's pretty solid.
I do like
it. So speaking of plans for prayer, I think, let's go a little practical for a minute. So a lot of times people, and we've even touched on it. One, the priority has to be, you have to connect with God. Your prayer, the goal of praying should be to connect with God. And if you're starting with any other motive other than that, you're wrong, right? And what you're going to do, your prayers are going to bounce right back at the ceiling, right? You're not going to feel any growth from it. And you're not going to deepen your communion with God from it, right? So we have to start from that position. So we know that. Now, for the type A people, right, that need a plan, right? One of the things I love, again, another reason you need to pick up this book, the entire second half of the book is different models of prayer and how to use them.
Yeah.
Right. This is legitimately a playbook for how to pray.
It is.
Right.
It is.
It does not get more practical than this book right here. So, talk to us a little bit about why it is important for us to have a plan for prayer, and then maybe let's two-part it, and then throw out what's a plan or a model of prayer that you've seen be effective for people.
Yeah. So we already talked about the being in His presence and having that prayer time throughout the day. But I mentioned still having that hour or getting in your prayer closet, and that's where you come with a model, or you don't come with necessarily with an agenda. But you come, it's like in sports. You're not going to just, I know how to play football, so I'm going to show up and I'm going to play football. You're not going to win games. You might win one or two, but you're not going to win seasons and championships if you don't have a playbook. The enemy knows the playbook.
Yeah.
So we got to come with the playbook. We got to essentially study film.
Yeah.
And when we step onto the battlefield, we come with the game plan, and that's what I like that Pray First has. And then I'll say this, I'm probably stealing what you're going to say in a minute. There's a Pray First app that is, it has all of these models of prayer. It has self-guided prayer. It has guided prayer for some of them with instrumental music that you can play from Highlands Worship. If you don't come with a plan, again, yes, spend time all day long, as you wake up, spend time, but have a designated time that is your warfare preparation time. It's you putting your battle plan together because you already know you're being attacked all day. Yeah. Like, just turn the TV on, just scroll through social media, just walk into Walmart. The enemy is everywhere.
Yeah. So
you gotta have a playbook. And not every prayer model in Pray First or on the Pray First app, not everyone works for you. I definitely encourage you to go through every one of those prayer models that are found in Scripture and find the one that works for you. My personal favorite, and just for sake of time, I'm not going to really dive into this. I think I've preached a whole sermon on it before, a couple of times actually. But I wanted to pull it up in the Pray First app. I don't know if you can really see that, but the Pray First app is amazing. But when I'm sitting there, I'm spending like my designated time with God. My favorite prayer guide to use is the Lord's Prayer. I'm not going to say everybody, but most everybody either knows or at some point has heard the Lord's Prayer. And I just want to quickly walk through the 7 steps that I've taught on, I've done. This is kind of my prayer guide, but it breaks down the Lord's Prayer. And the Lord's Prayer starts out, Our Father in Heaven, and this is you connecting relationally. This is you getting to know your Father. In society, a lot of people don't understand what a father is. And so you got to connect with him to understand that he really is a good father, not from a human perspective, but he is the Father, the best Father. So number 1, Our Father in Heaven, we connect with him relationally, and then we worship his name. Hallowed be thy name. You spend time in worship. So connect with him, talk with him, just like we're talking right now, but then worship him. Give him the worship that he deserves. And then this one is huge. This is where this will challenge you, especially if you're new to prayer and you're one of those who only pray when you need something, but then when you get it, you forget to praise and thanks. Pray his agenda first. Your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as in heaven. Not mine, but all about his agenda. Pray his agenda first. And then depend on him for everything. How often do we pray for something but not believe it? Like my knee has been bothering me this morning. It actually been bothering me for a couple of days, and I've been praying for it. But this morning the prayer was different. It was like, God, I know you can and you will make my knees stop hurting.
Yeah.
And I'm going to trust you in your time to do it. Like if I need to walk with a limp for the rest of the day, then that's cool. But I know you're going to heal me.
Yeah.
I don't know in what way or when, but I know you're going to heal me. So when you shift that and you begin to depend on him for it, it's not like, God, if it's your will, so often we use that, if it's your will kind of cop out. Like if he doesn't heal that person of cancer, then it wasn't his will.
Right.
So we put guardrails on our prayer.
Right.
No,
that way we've got an out.
Yeah. God, we depend on you to heal that person. God, we depend on you to provide for that need. Not if you will, but God, we depend on you to do it according to your will. Not if you will, but according to your will. And we will trust you and we will thank you. We depend on you for this. So give us this day our daily bread. Yeah. Depend on him for everything. Forgive and be forgiven. Again, a hard part. This is a hard prayer to walk through. But if you can do this on a regular basis, your life will just change. Forgive and be forgiven. Forgive us our debts as we forgive those who forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who have trespassed against us. And then engage in spiritual warfare. We're not fighting against flesh and blood.
Yeah.
We're fighting against principalities. We're fighting against spirits. One pastor said one time, he said, right now there's angels and demons fighting for your life.
Yeah.
And I just think about it. I'm like, holy smokes, like I'm worth fighting for. Engage in spiritual warfare. And that's where it says, and do not lead us into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. And then express your faith in God's power. For yours is the kingdom and the power and the glory. That is just one of the guided prayers that is in the Pray First book and the Pray First app. And that is one of the ones now I have a much longer list breaking down like phrase by phrase. I think it's like 12 steps within that. But I wanted to use the Pray First one so that you guys could jump in today. Yeah. And it's right there. If you can pray these model prayers and truly pray them, not read them, not listen to them, but truly pray them, it will begin to shift everything in your life. If you just think about it, just the 7 steps. If you connect daily with God relationally and you worship his name and you pray his agenda first, then you depend on him for everything and you ask for forgiveness and you forgive those who have done you wrong and you engage in that spiritual warfare and express your faith in God's power, your life will change. Yeah. And that's all from the Lord's Prayer. When the disciple says, teach us to pray, this is the playbook he gave them. He didn't say pray this specific prayer. He said pray in this way. Yeah. So pray in this way and watch your whole world just be rocked and transformed.
Well, and we've talked about boldness in prayers. I think you have this baseline to go off of. You automatically feel emboldened once you finish this prayer. If you're doing it correctly, and you're really encountering God in this prayer, you're going to feel the boldness to ask for other things. Yeah. You know, Lord, make this happen in my life. Like this would be huge for me and my family. Yeah. You know, I'm going to fast over this too. It's just going to lead and build into other things in your prayer life, and you're just going to feel like a warrior by the time the prayer's done.
Right. Yeah. And now there's one more prayer model that I follow, and this is a dangerous prayer.
Hit us.
But if you pray this one every single day, I promise you, your world will be wrecked. But only pray it if you mean it. Search me, O God. Know my heart. Yeah. Try me and know my thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you. Pray that. That's Psalm 139, 23 and 24. Pray that. Search me, O God, and know my anxious thoughts, and point out anything in me that offends you. Yeah. And then lead me along the path of everlasting life. Yeah. That's like taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Well, and think about the order in which they put that, right? It begins with, search me, O God.
Yep.
Fix me.
Yep.
Other places in Psalms, you created me a clean heart.
Yep.
Right. Begin with me. Yep. Right. Fix what's broken in me. Clean me up. Make me like you. Right. Give me your heart. Help me understand your heart. and then lead me along the path of everlasting life. Like, I love that. Like, that's not a coincidence.
No,
right?
No, it's not.
That's a process. And even think about that model of prayer when we talk about the Lord's Prayer. It begins with you're putting yourself. We talked a little bit about this last week. You're putting yourself in a submissive position to the Father, right? Yeah. You're acknowledging that I understand where I rate with you, but I also understand that you love me enough to be listening to me right now and caring, right? Yeah. The other thing, you said two things that I think we really need to hit on and want to make sure people don't miss. Number one, the enemy has a playbook, so why shouldn't we?
Yep.
The enemy absolutely has a playbook. So I've been listening to, this is another, if you need a Bible reading plan, you need to listen to the Bible recap.
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
So good.
There's two phrases that I wish I could get out of my head right now. And if you're doing it, you already know the two phrases, but it's good, right? Find something better. It's great insight. I don't agree with everything, but it's pretty great insight. Fantastic. So, and it's short, easy to do too.
There's a kids version too.
Well, there's a kids version?
Yep, there's a kids version.
I guess I didn't know that. I think Courtney's done that with our kids. Yep. But I distracted myself by hating on Tara's sayings.
He's where the joy is.
He's where hey, Bible readers. Look, it's fantastic. I'll tell you. So I texted Courtney this morning. I was like, how much money do you think I could make selling edited copies of her videos that just edit out those two phrases? But anyways, I got myself off track and forgot where I was going. Yeah, that was fantastic. There you go. Man, OG Midweek is back.
Sorry, guys. I come in and I just train wreck it for us.
No, one of the things that jumped out to me was, it was there just a second ago. It's completely gone.
Reach for it.
Anyways, the enemy has a playbook. Yes, that's right. So I was reading this, or I've actually been listening to the Bible. It's actually a totally different thing when you listen to it. But I was talking about
listen to it and read it at the same time. It's beautiful.
It's a different world.
Yeah,
it's a different thing. But I came across a story where Jesus comes across a demon-possessed man, and the demons immediately recognize Christ, right? And the first thing he says, the demon says to him, says something about, "Hey, you son of man," or son. I think he says, "Son of God, are you here to torture us before the appointed time?" Mm-hmm. They already know. They know where they're going. Mm-hmm. They know exactly how it's all going to end, right? They've literally read the back of the book. They know. They get it. So you think the enemy doesn't know the playbook? They know.
Yes.
It's literally in Scripture. The demons know. They're done for.
All I can think about is that song that's on a lot of the reels. They know. They know.
They know. Oh, no.
They know.
But that, they have the playbook.
Do. Yes, absolutely.
They absolutely have the playbook. And what's so disgusting and sad and disheartening is so many Christians don't know the playbook. It's there.
It should embolden us.
Yes.
To want to follow the playbook.
Yeah.
If the other teams already know how it ends, we should know how it ends. So that should give us confidence.
Yep. But so often we don't. And so hopefully something today has inspired you guys to at least spend time with the coach and then get in the playbook.
Yeah.
We have the master plan already. We know the end of the book. We know the beginning of the book. In fact, if we study it enough, we know their playbook.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We've seen it. We have the stories. We have the prophecies. We know just as much as they know.
And the devil doesn't have any new tricks. He's been running the same plays forever, right?
Yeah.
But that's where I want to leave us today. One, prayer is the priority, right? And it is that simple.
Yeah.
Beginning to pray is as simple as start. Go.
I think the way
now,
it says it in there and the way Chris Hodges says it, and you guys have probably heard me say it if you've ever watched Midweek and we've talked about prayer, or you've heard me on Sunday morning, prayer should be your first response, not your last resort.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Pray first.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, just wrote on the board in my office, pray first. Mm-hmm. It's on my wristband right here, pray first. Constant reminders to pray first.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no reason not to, right? The only reason getting in the way is you.
Yep.
Right, you're it. And start somewhere.
Yep.
Start big, start small, start easy, right?
Well, speaking of easy, one easy way, obviously the Pray First app, but one easy way is First 15 app. Mm-hmm. It's one of the first things I do. I know it's one of the first things you do. In the morning, it's literally an app, First 15. Look it up. The icon is like a 1 and a 5, like cutting each other in half, making a 15. But what it is it's 5 minutes of like a devotional time. It's 5 minutes of prayer and meditation, and then it's a worship song. Mm-hmm. Start there.
Yeah.
Start somewhere simple. Start where you can, but do so with the intentionality of being with your Father.
Yeah. Yeah, and if we're not starting there, we're not starting from the right place, right? Yeah. We're starting to check a box or fill a ritual or impress other people, which, Jesus had a few things to say about that, especially related to prayer. Yeah. But, that's a whole nother episode.
It starts a habit of being in the presence of God when you start your day. Mm-hmm. And if that's where you start your day, then it automatically sets you up for success.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe you're not a morning person. You can sacrifice 15 minutes.
That'll make you a morning person.
Yeah, you can sacrifice 15 minutes. Even if it starts, like this morning, I did my first 15 on the ride here. Mm-hmm. I don't normally do that, but I did it on the ride here. There's times where I do my first 15 sitting on the edge of my bed. There's times where I do it sitting in the parking lot here at the church, sometimes in my office. Do what works for you. Mm-hmm. But start today.
Yeah.
Start now. In fact, when this ends, spend some time in prayer.
Yeah. I've never met anybody that's like, I wish I hadn't spent so much time praying today.
Yeah, I've never heard that.
Gosh, this just ruined my day.
Yep.
Spent an hour in prayer and just ruined my whole day.
I knew I should have death scrolled on Instagram.
Yeah. You know what's really life-giving is watching reels on Facebook. Oh, just really.
So much better than prayer.
And if you've ever said that, let me know. I would love to hear you say
We would love to have a conversation.
That would be fantastic. Yeah. So
you're going to be our next guest on the show.
Right? Tell us why death scrolling on Facebook is better than prayer. Let's have a little debate. That would be fun. Man, Carly, thanks for joining us.
That was cool.
It's good to have you back on the show.
Good to be back on.
Look, I've missed having you on the show. Right?
Yeah.
Trevor, no offense.
All offense.
I love having Trevor on the show. Trevor is a fantastic episode of the show, right? Trevor is a huge reason the show has gotten better. I think in many ways, the show's gotten better, more mature, and Trevor's a big part of that. And
I've never heard that before.
Right? I know.
I make something more mature.
I got to keep you around somehow. So
let's go.
That's it. But Carly, thanks so much for joining us.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for what you do in our church and leading us. We got some big goals and some big vision, and God's doing some great things.
Absolutely.
And you can absolutely count on praying first being the priority as we move forward. And
more soda, less bubbles.
Right. Nobody understands that.
That's another episode. You would understand.
If you were one of the few people that works on our staff, you would understand this. Talk about inside baseball.
Oh, man.
Way to go.
Anyway.
But thanks so much, Carly, for joining us. Always good to have you on. We'll get you back on at some point eventually if the fans demand. Or if the fans are like, don't ever put him back on. That was terrible. I can't imagine
that too.
Yeah. Well, I know at least some people
then we would admonish them.
We don't listen to this.
We're going to have you back.
My feelings won't be hurt.
But start today. Don't. Man, I was going to make it rhyme.
Oh, dude, I was
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Today, don't delay.
This is the
Just
way.
pray.
It's like we're selling couches.
Fanny packs. You can have your prayer journal, your Bible, and a pen in your Pray First fanny pack.
Parkway Furniture Sales, open from 8 to 5.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness.
Sorry.
Yeah, look, we're back.
We're so back, baby.
Thanks for joining us for another episode of Midweek Motivation. Have a great week and stay motivated.
Stay motivated, my friend.
Let's go.